Here we are in the town of Narembeen. We have what looks like a Christmas decoration of a kangaroo, possibly put up for Christmas at the time of videoing. We have a clock tower that looks like it's part of an old railway crane. As we continue around, we have the Narembeen post office. Just opposite the Narembeen post office, the local hotel. As I continue with the town walk, we have this mural saying about Save Our Country Kids, travel 50 kilometres within the town area, reminding us all to slow down. And just down here we have a little park area opened up by the Lions Club. There's a few plaques around town that I've noticed talking about the history of the town. Someone's talking about the races. And here we have the Bank of New South Wales, which should have been the old bank building. And over here we have the Co-op building where you'll find the local IGA store. And just opposite there we have the chemist, which is located within the Narembeen Community Precinct area. There's also a hardware store. Very quaint, small little town, but definitely worth a visit for a stopover. Maybe for lunch, morning tea, or just a short break from driving. Just opposite the Narembeen Roadhouse, we have the Good Shed with this lovely mural on it with a harvester and an old horse and cart talking about Discover Our Grain, possibly talking about the grain centre. And just behind there we have the Narembeen railway station. And as we pan round, here's the Roadhouse, where you'll also find the Grain Discovery Centre.
Here's the lovely Apex picnic spot, playground. It is located near the Caravan Park. There's also a little bit of information. Town of Narembeen. Tells you the services and a town map as well, showing where different spots are located. Town attractions. Here's the Dorcas clothing. Bit of a history to that one. The Narembeen Grain Discovery Centre. A Spotters Post-War Museum. The Narembeen Draft Horse and the Narembeen Hawk. Some very interesting things to have a look at while you're in Narembeen. And here's something for you stargazers out there, stargazing in the wheat belt. On a clear night, the stunning night sky of the wheat belt lights up, making the views absolutely magnificent. This is something you just have to experience when you visit Narembeen. And check it out, what's up. There we go to show the town history. With a population of 850. This is the spot just near the Apex Park for the stargazing for beginners. If you're new to stargazing, not sure how to get started, here are some tips to help you enjoy a magnificent night sky. Reduce light at night. Get your night vision. Avoid white light. You don't need a telescope. Thanks to country WA's low light pollution, there is plenty to see with the naked eye. If you have a pair of binoculars, try using these to take a closer look at the Milky Way. Download a stargazing app. Arrive before sunset. Look up. Well, we won't look up today, as that's what we're going to see, blue skies, as it's 1:10. Tells you all about the sky, the moon, whether it's a full moon, a quarter moon, or a beautiful crescent moon, the different coloured stars. And then you can continue your astronomical adventure by visiting an observatory or join an astronomy club. You'll never know what you'll discover. And on this wall here, we have stargazing here is spectacular. Very low levels of light pollution. Autumn equinox on about the 20th of March each year. The winter solstice on about the 21st of June each year. And the spring equinox, 22nd of September. And the next one, the summer solstice, on about the 21st of December. It also has a giant planisphere, which tells you what's next. Giant in the sky. You can turn the wheel to match today's date with the time of night. Tells you all about it there. I'll get a photo of that so that we can see for ourselves on just what it's really like up there. While you're waiting to view the night sky, you might like to have a bit of a barbecue or a picnic. But I suggest getting here nice and early, as who knows, it could be rather busy. The Narembeen Grain Centre. It's at the front of it. Little containers that show the growing of lupins. And a fun fact, giggle yabbies, which grow in many farm dams across the wheat belt, absolutely love a feed of lupins. And the next one we can view is canola. Once again, it tells you a little bit about the canola plant. Fun fact, canola belongs to the mustard family and is closely related to the Brussels sprout, broccoli, cauliflower and cabbage families. You learn something new every day. Wheat. Well, who has heard of wheat? Most of us have heard of wheat, as we need wheat to make a lot of our foods that we eat, including bread, muffins, pasta, biscuits, cakes, sauces and confectionery. A fun fact, 1 kilo of wheat grains makes approximately 1 loaf of bread. Some farmers are harvesting 30,000 loaves of bread per hour during harvest. Barley. A fun fact. We all know barley is used to make beer, but did you know that barley is also used to make sweet drinks, such as Milo, and confectionery, such as Maltesers? And barley is West Australia's second largest cereal crop. Something interesting I found out near the post office about the railway celebration. The early settlers in the Cumanan district from 1910 onwards were obliged to travel to Doodlekin, a distance of 60 miles, to obtain most of their requirements. The railway came after many years of frustration in 1917 and was finally extended through from Narembeen. Now, you might be thinking, why do a railway celebration? Well, not so much about the plaque, but it's more about Doodlekin. Where is Doodlekin? Doodlekin? Research it on our video channel, Casper and CC's Travels. Or maybe even see the link below, as Doodlekin we have been to.
Here in the Discovery Centre here in Narembeen, we have an example of one of the little areas where the settlers, when they came over, would sleep. Very simple, with hessian bags and a little camp stove where they would do their cooking. And what's this little house here, Mum?
It looks like just a house that they probably would have used back in the old days. There's a sign here that just sort of tells you about the veranda and how
We got that.
they'd sleep. And
Yep, and looks like we've got a sample of an old meat safe and the old Coolgardie safe.
meat safe there, and the Coolgardie safe.
And milk separators.
Yes.
So we'll leave it for you to have a read of. This is the inside of what it would have looked like inside of a typical farmhouse kitchen back in the early days. Very simple cupboard with an old wireless.
And the wireless provided contact via ABC news broadcasts. Serials were also enjoyed. Some of your parents or grandparents may have listened to the Lawsons, Blue Hills, Dad and Dave, just to name a few. The old pedal pushing sewing machine.
We won't tell people too much, Mum. We'll leave it for some people to discover.
True.
Because if we...
Little bike shed.
We have a typical old Chevy truck. With information on the train line. And the board telling about the early farming into the modern farming. And here's something interesting, the various grains from chickpeas to oats to peas to barley to lupin, wheat and canola. So if you are in town, it's definitely worth a visit. I've just highlighted what you can see. But there is plenty of information to read and plenty of information to discover.